The DBE score, that's kind of an interesting concept too, because the government's got their little thing they release on known exploited vulnerabilities, but that doesn't get you in front of the curve. That only gets you pretty much when it's known. It looks like your solution can get you a little more in front of the curve and not have to wait till it's a known exploitable system. Can you draw any relationship between I think it's CISA known exploitable catalog and what you're doing?
Yeah, so one thing I'll say is that we are feeding some data into CISA, and there are some projects that they're working on coming up more longer term that we've been responding to. And so I think more to come on that. When it comes to the KEV specifically and what CISA is doing there, I got to applaud what they're doing. And, we certainly would like to have more of a partnership there. So,
right.
Yeah.
And it's a big kind of a high level view, I guess. The ABCs of the whole thing gets you started, but yeah, the whole threat intelligence is a very, very interesting, topic, like you mentioned. How much do you see this? How much if you're trying to do the indicators of compromise or to go to the next level, because I know your background, you came from kind of the attack surface world. That doesn't go anywhere near as far as validating as some of the information you're providing, what's actually wrong. How do you see the automation, the AI changing that game over time? And where does a human can always be involved?
Well, a human's got to be involved at some point, right? And, we worked with one company in particular. I remember earlier last year around playbooks. And, that's one thing that I think, there's been this dream of SOAR for quite a while. And then companies kind of get into it. And then I don't know if it's that they just don't have the time and resources because they're continuously chasing a lot of different things. But, when you really focus on these playbooks and start to then enrich data that's coming out of whether it's your SIM or other things, and start to then tie in these various feeds that you're getting, whether it's some of the free feeds that are out there, the feeds from the ISACs, even the commercial feeds from companies like ours. Once you then have the ability to then say, what's the threshold of what I want a human to see versus what we can allow a machine to do, that becomes pretty impactful. Like I said, we had a project earlier last year where there were several different things in their environment that they would query. And then once it met a certain threshold, then a human would do a review, and then it would go on to other parts of the organization. It was very well thought out. I definitely applaud this company for taking that effort and doing it. It really streamlined a lot of the things that they were doing because they were a very small team. It was essentially a team of 4. Including the manager, who was very hands-on as well. So very small team, very large organization, and they were able to accomplish quite a bit, just tying in all of their various programs and systems that they had into these various playbooks. I would love to see more of that happening with the companies that we're working with.